God bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. Des ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. Bap! Let me tell you something. This wasn't recommended by no one. I thought, you know what? I'm jamming out tonight. I might have 20 minutes before I pass out because I've had a couple of drinks, been out and about, and then I came back with a couple of drinks. I thought, you know what? I'm chilling and kicking back. I need something a little more energetic to keep me alive. And it kept me alive. I thought I'd put a bit of death metal on, put a bit of brutal on, put a bit of slam on, put a bit of anything on that has a little bit more of an upbeat energy in comparison to, you know, the more singer-songwriter adjacent stuff I might check out from time to time. 10 tracks, Voracious Contempt is what I put on. Internal Bleeding, 1995 record, the debut by Internal Bleeding. Shit, man. It kept me awake. Incredibly consistent record. I'm going to tell you this was ahead of its time. And I don't even know what was going on in 95. I don't even know. But I can tell you that things haven't changed much. There's a band which came out with a couple of bits. I think it's a bit of a novelty for the most part, but people do like the band. Novelty takes off, don't get me wrong. That's how you spark the fuse and you flipping blow off into, you know, great standing. I can't hate on the act. I'm not hating on the act because I think they're kind of groovy from time to time. There's a band called Torture at the moment who are doing their thing. Couple of heavy riffs. The moshes are liking it. Slam band. Brutal death metal band in the hardcore circuit. Bro, it's not far disconnected from what we heard now. 2 decades earlier, Internal Bleeding with their debut. Jeez, ahead of its time, this record. Ahead of its time. I not really heard many people giving this band props. I know a guy, death metalhead, metalhead. He's well adjusted to hardcore music and mosh music and swinging your arms and fighting invisible bees being a ninja music. And he gave props to Internal Bleeding time to time. That's as much as I know about this band. People don't really rate this act like they do Devourment, like they do these other acts, these more modernized slam acts and these more modernized towing the line, fence sitting, am I hardcore, am I metal, you know, slam bands. This act is hard. I did a beatdown band not so long back because it was like the top of a list. I just searched like best beatdown bands or something and it was like, oh, website on like the best lists of music ever. And it gave me an act called No Remorse, I think it was. Potentially, correct me if I'm wrong. And it was like 2001 record. Heavy hardcore, basically. Beatdown. Yeah, it was basic. This came out 6 years earlier. Bruh, this wipes the floor with that act. As far as beatdown is concerned, as far as heaviness is concerned, as far as just hardcore is concerned, even though this is a metal band. The production is dry, gritty. When I first clicked play and I was on the first track, I was like, this might be a crap sound. This might be a hard listen for 10 tracks. But then you become accustomed to it within a moment. You understand the sound of it and it works. Guitars at the forefront, vocals at the forefront, but the drums are prominent. The bass is audible, which is all you'd ever want. To the degree where you can hear the audacity and the attack on the bass guitar, the twanging of the strings when the bassist is really giving it a good go on particular riffs. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Guttural vocals, nothing, not a broad spectrum of sound, to be honest, just very guttural, very consistent. Blah, blah, blah. Nah. If you hate them, you're not going to like the record. If you like them, you're going to like the record, right? And notice I don't say love there, because love, I'm projecting myself into the thing. Bro, you can't hear 10 tracks of 4 minutes onwards, each and every song, basically, of the same vocal and not get bored of it. If that's you, bro, you need to expand your palette a little bit, to be honest. Now, with that being said, this could be a 7-track record. It could be a 7-track record. Incredibly consistent. There's no low points. There's no weakness to any track on this record. It's all good. But it's so consistent and so good that 7 tracks would be enough. I don't need 10 tracks. I don't need 10 tracks. Too long. Unnecessary. Just take out what you would consider the worst riffs. Speaking to the band. Rid of them. Just condense it into 7 tracks. Bada bing, bada bum. But all 10 tracks are good. All 10 tracks consistent. I'm moshing hard. This band is ahead of its time at this point, 95. It's brutal. I don't need to look at what other bands were doing their thing at 95. I don't give a flying F. This record was enough for me to hear to know that this band would be sufficient bringing this record out in this day as a local act, and fucking people would kick off and start beating their mates up in front of everyone. People would embarrass their friends to this band in a live environment if this band was just putting this record out on a local bill nowadays. That's how good it is. It's not outdated. It's a great sound, and it's prominent now. Unfortunately, I think the test of time has sort of rendered this act ahead of its time, and in being so, it's a bit of a problem. It's a bit of a problem. Maybe the metal scene and the metal circuit and all of that really look after this band and love this band. If so, I hope that's the case. But, you know, as far as the people I know that would love it, they're too busy fine-tuned into what's happening now as opposed to what's happened before. And that's the unfortunate reality. If I'm going to rate this record, my brother, I'll give this an 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I rate it. I rate it wholeheartedly. This was a good record. Am I going to come back to it? I might do. I might do for some ignorant stuff. I might do. But there's no track in particular that I think I'll go back to. I just think as a whole, it was a good sound. I'm signing out on that one, people. One love. Goodbye.